What's going on, you lukewarm evangelicals? My name is Jay Dottie, and welcome to Dottie's Den. Today's video is brought to you by a socialist totalitarian dictator named Lemonhead. I know, crazy name, right? With all jokes aside, okay guys, Don Lemon has finally decided to become a real journalist. Who would have thought? He hit the streets to actually see what the people think. And guess what? He was pleasantly surprised. Shocker. Black people are actually supporting Trump over Kamala. I repeat, black people are actually supporting Trump over Kamala. Well, when a foreign invader comes into your country and the current administration is actually funding that invasion, that's when most people have a problem. Let's see what the people in Lemon have to say about this.
I'm going for Trump. I feel like every time they don't want somebody who is good for us to win, they throw somebody black in our face thinking that's going to like make us vote for the black person.
I voted for Obama because he was black. I don't want to vote for her because she's the first black woman to run for president or to win.
I don't vote.
Well, I want Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I want Donald
Why
Trump.
do you apologize?
Well, I know nobody likes him, but we had good times with Donald Trump.
I'm running for Trump, so
You are?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, why?
Yeah. I don't know. I just always been a fan of his, so that's what I'm running for.
I used to be against Trump. I used to live in Virginia. I saw the bad side of it, but really moving to Cleveland, but I saw the other side of it.
I'm supporting Trump
You are. Because?
because it has to change.
Yeah.
It has to change, and now I vote more for what fits me better as a person rather than voting for the black person or voting for the first woman. So
What do you think about Kamala Harris?
I think they say she phony and fake, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I'm like Trump saying, you know, what are you, you know? So I'm not feeling her. People get mad about it, I'm just not feeling her.
I don't like her the way she speaks, the giddiness, the laughing. Everything's a joke, and it's not a joke. We're in trouble.
I'm going for Trump. Kamala was on Biden's team, and I don't like Biden. Gas wasn't this high when Trump was our president. Food wasn't this high. I'm going for Trump.
Well, guys, as you just seen, a lot of black people are voting for Trump this election. Why? Let's see what Don Lemon has to say about it.
Ask you about your trip traveling across the country, because you were traveling across the country on the way to Chicago where you were, and we'll talk about that too. You interviewed a lot of people.
did.
What are some of the things or trends that surprised you about some of those conversations?
Well, I don't know if it was surprising, but it was certainly eye-opening to hear so many people, even people of color and women, saying that they are going to support Donald Trump. I'm not quite sure that the polls are accurate as it relates to the tightening of the polls and who's going to support whom. And, you know, right-wing media, you know, when I released my content, they said, oh, Don Lemon was shocked or Don Lemon was surprised at the answers that he got. But there were a lot of black men, Jen, who said that they were supporting Donald Trump simply because he gave them a stimulus check. He gave them $1,200 back when he was president. They did not somehow remember that the current president also gave them a stimulus check, except that his name wasn't on it. So I had to remind them time after time that the check did not come from Donald Trump, that it came from a Democratic Congress, and he actually slowed it up in order to have his name on the check. So when they got the check and his name was on it, they automatically thought that it came directly from Donald Trump, which I think is good marketing. It's the same as he does for buildings around the country.
Okay, you guys seen those videos that he posted at the beginning, right? None of those showed that, but also I think that you're assuming that these people believe that Donald Trump directly gave them that money. I don't believe that they think that. They know the government gave them that money, right? They know that. So I think you're already insulting their intelligence. Let's keep going.
Country, especially in New York, he doesn't actually own them, but he puts his name on them, and it makes people think that he owns them, and it actually makes them think that he is richer and bigger and more benevolent than he is.
Was there anything, what did they think about Harris? Did they have anything to say about her?
They did have, listen, it depends on where you are. We went to a number of different battleground states in Pennsylvania, Ohio, we were in Michigan, Indiana, on our way, obviously, Illinois, on our way to Chicago. And it sort of depended on where you were. Pennsylvania, well, I shouldn't say Pennsylvania, I should say Philadelphia, was a bit more liberal, and the answers to the questions about her and him were quite different. But for the most part, in Pittsburgh or at the Jersey Shore and in Atlantic City, in Ohio especially, many people did not know who she was. Right? They weren't familiar with her. So I think she has to reintroduce herself to the.
Do you know how sad it is, right? So first off, if you're a person and you don't know who the vice president of the United States is, please check your education. Please check yourself first off, right? Second off, that also speaks to just how much she hasn't done over these past 3.5 years, right? She hasn't done anything of note. Truly, what has she really done? I see a lot of you guys saying, oh yeah, you know, when I say that she hasn't done anything, you guys say, oh yeah, she isn't the president right now. So what will she actually do when she's the president? Her platform hasn't changed since 2020 and that didn't work. So what is she actually going to do, right? This is ridiculous. They don't know who she is. And I've been saying, it started about 2 years ago, guys. I promise you, I kid you not. 2 years ago, I started saying, hey, what the hell is Kamala Harris doing? I haven't seen her. I haven't heard from her. She hasn't had any big press conferences, any big, speaking events, anything like that. No big policy plays, nothing like that. You know, she broke the tie in the Senate and the Congress. She did that a couple of times, but who cares, right? That's nothing of note. People knew Joe Biden, but they didn't know Kamala Harris, the first black woman as vice president, right? This is ridiculous, guys. Let's keep going.
The public. But for him, I think that they thought that he's better for the economy. And that, again, that he gave them money into the community and that he was on.
I'm going to correct him real quick. They know.
Black people's side. And so, listen, I wasn't surprised by that. I've been doing this long enough to know that you never know where people are going to fall, how they're going to vote. That's their own personal prerogative. But I think it's important for them to understand and to go into the voting booth with some knowledge, that they're informed as an electorate. And for all the reasons that they were telling me, the information was all false. And they didn't understand the correct reasons why they might vote for him.
Yeah, it's a reminder. I mean, you've called Donald Trump a racist on television. You're talking to all these people out there. You still feel that way?
Yes, I think I was the first person to finally say it, and I think I was the first.
He had to still keep that old position. At least he doesn't flip-flop like Kamala Harris does. Kamala Harris flip-flops so much, it's ridiculous, right? But still, really? A racist? How tired is this sentiment at this point, Don Lemon? Second off, he said that the voters are not informed. Maybe they're not informed in terms of being book smart and all of that stuff. Maybe they don't read that much, but they can see around them. They can feel their pockets, right? They can feel how much money they have left after they spend money on groceries, after they spend money on rent, everything like that. They can feel that stuff, right? So while you're saying they're not educated, they still aren't stupid. They're still informed in the sense that they're looking around them and say, hey, something's changed in these last 3.5 years since they've been in office, since Biden and Harris have taken over. Terrible. It's changed for the worse. And we all knew that, right? We all knew that, at least if you voted for Trump in 2020, right? Everybody knew that this country was going downhill. I said that. I'm like, oh yeah, this country is over with. Like, this is stupid. I'm genuinely surprised that she won. Or that he won. I'm sorry, I forgot about Biden. I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now. How I said Kamala Harris, like, oh yeah, where's Kamala Harris? I'm saying the same thing about Biden right now. Where's Biden at? After she got announced as the Democratic nominee. This is ridiculous, guys. What, he gave a little speech at the DNC? What is he doing actively? He's still the president, right? Let's keep going.
First person to say that he was lying because people were afraid to say it. And I said, why don't we just call it what it is? Why don't we call it a lie? Why don't we call it racism? And I wasn't just saying it because it was an opinion. Anytime I said something like that on television, I backed it up with facts and I gave people examples of the reasons that I was saying those things. Of course, I think he's racist. All you have to do is look at his rhetoric. All you have to do is look at his track record. And anyone can see that.
Anyone can see that.
No, keep going, keep going.
His views are very skewed, right? Anyone can see that. Somebody has to pinpoint to me something that he said that was really racist. They still haven't done that for me. Every time I ask somebody, hey, what makes Donald Trump racist? They say, oh, well, the Central Park Five, this and that. Like, no, I watched exactly what happened. I looked up exactly what happened and watched that goddamn, whatever the hell it was, the movie on Netflix. Like, that's what he said. He thought that they were actually, and he said, hey, they should actually go to jail for that? That's crazy. That's what he said. That's when he thought that, not knowing that they were unjustly accused of that. So come on. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest about this. We just have to be honest. That's all I'm saying.
So, I mean, anyone can see that. And so I don't think that was odd or something that was bold. Yeah, so I do think that he's racist. Is it surprising to me that so many African Americans are supporting him?
Yes.
A bit. But I also think that people tend to romanticize the past. And even though by most metrics, the economy is doing better and it's on fire, what people do is they vote with prices. They vote with their wallet. So maybe the economy is better. Both can be true. The economy can be better, but prices are higher and people have less money and they have less resources.
This is that weird stuff that Democrats do, this word salad stuff. The economy is better, but maybe it costs more for this, and no, if the economy was good, it would not cost that much for eggs, for milk, for bread. You know what I mean? It would not cost that much. Come on. We have to be honest. That's like Biden saying, oh yeah, we had the lowest inflation in 3 years, even before Trump. Well, hold on. Wait a second, guys. What that means is that inflation was so high that you reduced it to this much, but it's still going up. It's still going up. Prices are still getting higher. Let's just use some numbers, for example, right? Any numbers. These are not actual statistics or actual numbers. I'm just going to use it as an example, okay? Let's say inflation went up 1,000% in 2022, right? 1,000%. And they lowered it to 500%. That's what Biden is saying when he says inflation is lowered. What do you mean? It's still 500%. That's crazy. Before you get in office, it was like 20%. You know what I'm saying?
Put towards those high prices and to feed their families. So, you know, we talk a lot about low information voters. I like to call them low partisan information voters because many of the people I spoke to were not sitting in front of a television every single day and every single night, following every micro breaking news development about Donald Trump and about what's happening in politics. But they were quite aware of what they were doing for their families, how much or how little money they had in their pockets. And I think that they vote on that and not necessarily, you know, what they see on television. As a matter of fact, Jen,
which is fair.
I asked people where they got their news from, how did they keep informed?
That was the end of that video. With that being said, I think we're just gonna end it right there. I don't have any extra, you know, commentary for this or anything like that because I said everything I had to say. Don Lemon pretty much just at the end right there alluded to what I was just saying this whole entire time. They are observing what's around them and they're saying, hey, F this. We need somebody else in office because this is crazy. When the other guy was in office, it wasn't like this. Now it's like this. No brainer. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's it. With that being said, my name is Jay Dottie. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Peace.